Hello everyone, welcome for today's video in Chapter 6, Experimental Research from the Book of Basic Research Methods for Librarians, presented by Gino D. Mait from Bliss 3, a student. Experimental research. Experimental research is the most rigorous of all research methods and is arguably the best method for testing cause and effect relationships. Causality. Simply stated, causality suggests that a single event, the cause, always leads to another single event, the effect. The conditions for causality. In attempting to confirm causality in a relationship, one must consider the so-called conditions or factors that may exist. A necessary condition is one that must occur if the phenomenon in which it is a cause is to occur. Bases for inferring causal relationships. Types of bases for inferring causal relationships. Concomitant variation. Evidence of concomitant variation or covariation when there are two variables indicates that the independent variable X and the dependent variable or assumed effect Y are associated in the way predicted by the causal hypothesis. Between two variables relates to the time order of occurrence of the variables. To establish the necessary time order requires evidence that the dependent variable did not occur before the independent variable. Non-spuriousness or evidence ruling out other factors as possible causes of the dependent variable. Such evidence merely helps to provide a reasonable foundation for inferring that X is or is not a cause of Y. Controlling the variables. Virtually all quantitative research requires the measurement of variables, but experimental research necessitates the control and manipulation of certain variables as well. Random assignment. It is a procedure used after the sample is selected, but before the experimental treatment is applied. Internal validity. Internal validity refers to the possibility that the conclusions drawn from experimental results may not accurately reflect what went on in the experiment itself. Threats to internal validity. Internal validity is crucial to the dependability of the results of an experiment, and it is closely related to replicability. External validity. External validity is important because it relates to the possibility that conclusions drawn from experimental results may not be generalizable to the real world. Experimental designs. As has been noted, the testing of causal hypotheses increases our ability to explain why certain phenomena occur, and experimental research may be the method best equipped for such testing. True experimental designs. 1. The pretest post-test control group design. The pretest post-test control group design is not as effective at controlling the threats to external validity. 2. The Solomon 4 group design. As can be seen, this design involves 4 randomly assigned or equivalent groups, 2 of which receive the experimental treatment and 2 of which are given post-tests only. 3. The post-test only control group design. This design is not used as frequently as it deserves to be, perhaps because of its lack of a pretest. 4. Factorial designs. Factorial designs can deal with 2 or more independent variables and 1 dependent variable. Evaluating the experiment. In evaluating the results of the experiment, the researcher should assess the reliability of the data and its external validity or generalizability. Quasi-experimental designs. Quasi-experimental designs are not as strong as those for true experiments. Ex post facto designs. Ex post facto designs represent a weaker type of quasi-experimental design. They are designed to simulate real experimentation by using a static group type comparison such as X over O to accomplish a pre-X equation of groups by matching on pre-X characteristics after the members of the groups have experienced the experimental variable. Web-based experiments. Web-based or internet-based experiments are becoming more common, especially in some of the social sciences. This technique allows researchers to collect large amounts of data from widely dispersed people and locations at minimal cost. Thank you for watching.